everybody, Jeffrey back again doing a top 10 list. This time is top 10 favorite superhero movies. They are in no particular order, and I only picked one out of every franchise. If there's a franchise like Batman or X-Men, I only picked one so that one didn't dominate the list. So just to streamline it out. Okay, so let's get started. Captain America, the First Avenger. I really like this movie. Set in World War II. It's awesome. If you haven't seen it, check this one out. Chris Evans does a great job as Captain America, and it's so much better than the Captain America from the 1990. If you haven't seen that one, do not check that out. It is so silly. His superpowers evidently are faking car sickness. You know, and he does it a couple times in the movie, and you're like, what? So he can run away. And the next one is, it also happens to have Chris Evans in it. It's just a coincidence. That's how I stacked them up. Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer. I love this movie. I like the first one too, but I picked this one over the first one because it's not an origin story. It gets right into the story, and it's got a lot of fun. I love whenever Human Torch's powers start to, every time he touches somebody else, it switches, and I think that's one of the charms of this movie, that they're dealing with not just the Silver Surfer plot, but also with that problem. So I really like this movie. It's very good. It's a shame that they're trying to reboot Fantastic Four. I thought it did a good job at it. Both movies did a good job and don't need to be rebooted. Just leave it alone. If you want to do another one, just follow it. Quit trying to reboot things. Quit trying to restart them. We liked them, okay? Don't fool with it. Sorry, I'm getting into a little rant here. The next one is Daredevil. A lot of people don't like this movie, probably because of the choice of Matt Murdock, which is Ben Affleck. I don't think he does a very bad job, but I don't think he did an incredible job. I mean, I just really like the story of this and the character. I think this is a very good movie. I of course don't have Elektra. I did not like that movie at all, so that one does not show up on the top 10 list. Oh, and I should note that this is the director's cut. This is actually the version 2 half. Director's cut. It's version 2 half. It's got a couple of little added scenes, little subplots. I really like that. And the next one, and I don't know if it necessarily belongs on the superhero list, but I put them on there anyways, and that's Hellboy. Love Hellboy. It's so cool to see, like a monster as the protagonist, not the other way around as the villain or anything. It's just so cool. I think Ron Perlman did a great job as Hellboy. Really killed it. Both movies are really good, but I picked the first one over the second one. I really like the first one. And the next one, of course, Batman was going to show up on here, and which one would it be? The Dark Knight. I'm sure that shows up on everybody's top 10 list, but it's on mine, and this is my favorite cover of it. I was thinking about buying the steelbook of it, and I just, I'd like to have the steelbook just because I have a steelbook of the Dark Knight Rises that my brother got me, but it doesn't have this cover. And I would hate to get rid of this. This is the best cover, so it's just this is how I'm always gonna own it. Next up is The Incredible Hulk. I really like this movie, and a lot of people don't like it, I guess because of the CGI and stuff. I thought the CGI was done very well, and I liked the monster battle at the end. I thought it was done really good, I didn't think it looked like crap or anything. I thought it was really good, and I think it had a good story. And Edward Norton did a very good job in it. And next up, of course, X-Men was going to get on my list. X-Men was one of my favorites growing up from the X-Men cartoon. And this one, it was tough picking which one I was going to do, whether it was going to be X2 or First Class. Didn't really care for X3 that much. And so it ended up being First Class today. That's what I was sitting there just going, which one am I going to pick? First Class is the one that I think is my favorite. Really like everybody in this movie, and the plot behind it, setting Universal Crisis. A really cool idea. Like that maybe. I can't wait till they do the next one, Days of Future Past. That's going to be a cool one. And the next one, of course, Spider-Man would have to be on here, and I picked the original Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi version. I think they did a really good job telling the origin in here. I don't know if I'm really like, sometimes I'm on the fence on Amazing Spider-Man, whether or not I love it or I hate it. This one, I think it followed the comic books very well, how the origin. I understand like Amazing Spider-Man can't follow the comics because this one did, but you didn't need to reboot it either. You didn't need to. That was silly. I don't know why they did it. I guess because, I mean, there's been so many Spider-Man cartoons, and they restarted it from, you know, Spectacular Spider-Man to, you know, the New Adventures of Spider-Man, I think was one of them, or the new animated series, whichever one that was on MTV. You remember that one? And then the Ultimate Spider-Man was the recent one. I know they always are doing that, but it's like they really weren't that bad or anything. Like 3, it wasn't that great, but it doesn't mean, oh, well, it was so bad we got to redo the whole series. I mean, just cast a different director, do something else, you know. And yeah, so I really like Spider-Man 1. I went on a little rant and lost my place. So let's go to the next one before I lose my place again. We're on number 9 here, and that's Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. is awesome in this movie. If you could even hear me, I whispered there. He's awesome in this movie. Does a great job of Tony Stark. I think I've heard it like 1,000 times. Everybody loves him in this movie. So no surprise that Iron Man 1 is on my list. Iron Man 2 is just okay to me. I don't watch it that much. Which is a shame. I'd love to love that movie, but I just unfortunately don't. And luckily enough, I have this at the bottom of the list so that it doesn't look strange. Is the Avengers, the one that has more than one superhero. This movie is really good. It's got some silly parts in it, you know, that don't necessarily make a whole lot of sense, but I try not to let that bother me when I watch these kinds of movies. You know, you don't need to be thinking out everything, you know, just, you know, enjoy the show. And this one's a really good one. Mark Ruffalo replaces Edward Norton as the Incredible Hulk, and I think he does a fantastic job as Bruce Banner. And I'm looking forward to seeing Avengers 2. Alright, well, that's the last of them. That's all my top 10. I'd love to hear what your top 10 are. So go ahead, and if you want, you can leave it in the comments or do a video response. So again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, for commenting, for liking, and I'll see you on the next one.